everyone, welcome back to Excel ERP. In today's video, we'll see how we can capture the user inputs or all the changes made on a particular user form on the text box controls, and we'll include the one combo box input capture also with the help of class modules. There's a challenge with the class modules that the after update event is not available in class modules. So we'll see this. So this is a kind of sample user form which has certain text box and one combo box. So I created this as a sample user form. It most probably it will be like a sub user form to a main application, and where we want to capture what all information is added or edited by any particular user, and we'll capture at what time it is edited and who has edited or made a change, and what is the form name. This is the form name, the user form name, and which field is edited or changed, and what was the change made. So let's say if I type the user ID _1, so it shows me that at this particular time this user on this form edited this field and the field value is this. So now if I want to change this to 101, so the next change is also captured. So let's say if I put my name here, address, any address like address here, or city is name Delhi and country is India, phone number is 700, and whether the user type. There are two options. There are two options available in the user type, admin or non-admin. If I select non-admin now and click anywhere else on the user form, or select any other control, the value selected in the combo box is also captured. So this way we can capture all the changes made by a particular user and at the particular time. So we'll go into the VBA code and we'll see how we are capturing all these inputs. And I didn't put a further code to it. The save button is there, but save button just unload the form. So this is how we are capturing the input, and these inputs are listed in the list box we saw here. So as soon as I click on the new form, the old information is deleted and the fresh form is available for the new user information input. So if we go into the VBA now, so this is the form we created. So these are labels and these are the text boxes. Each one is named as user ID, first underscore name, last underscore name. This is the name of the control. This is the name of the control user box. This is the combo box, and this is the list box we have. Now for the save button, let's go into this code. So user form click is just moves the focus away from any of the control visible. So there is one control, hidden control behind this text box. This is the one text box. So anywhere we click on the user form, the focus set to this text box. So keeping the focus away from the previously selected visible control. Okay. So command button 1 is this is the command button 1 save text box. So I use this just to unload the form. So this is to be the save information to be used with the further coding, the kind of application we're building, where we want to save the information, in which table or in which other application, maybe like SQL or Access. So we are using some class module also in this, and we'll talk about it. On the user type combo box, whenever the drop button is clicked, so it will add two strings, two items to it, admin and non-admin. You just saw there. So in the user form initialization, first we clear off the previous values, the field header and the field values. So these are the named ranges. I named it. So this is the field header and this is the field value named range. Okay, and then this is the standard way of declaring in variables and objects and setting them, the collection objects also, and for each control in userform.controls, means userform.controls. If the control type is text box, put it in the text box collection. If the control type is combo box, we put it in the combo box collection of the class. And this is the thing which enables us to capture the inputs. Here I set I equal to 3 because my first row of capturing data is 3. And then if the control.tag is tag 1, then control.control source equal to sheet 1 A and I is 3. So if I unhide this, so each of the control in the user form which has a tag as tag 1, so I'll show you this. All these controls have a tag 1. The tag value is tag 1. This is also tag 1. So all of these controls have the same tag value, tag 1. So whichever control has a tag of tag 1, then we assign a control source to it. Control source means whatever the value entered here will reflect in the control, or whatever the value entered in the control will that value is bind to this cell A3, first control A3, then second control A4, A5, and so on. So this is the thing we added, which enables us to capture the inputs, whatever inputs we are making to any of the control which has got the tag named as tag 1. And this is the loop for all the controls on the user form. So this is the initialization part. So let's go into the class module. So in the class module, we declare two events, class tbx as text box and class cbo as combo box. So class tbx underscore change, the change event of the text box, we capture this as the range field header dot value is the class tbx dot name, means the name of the controller. The name of this control is user ID, and this will go in field header. Second thing is field value is the control value. Whatever is input value in the control will go in the range called field value. Similarly, for the combo box also, it is exactly the same. Class underscore cbo dot name is the header, and the value is the field value. The little check which I put here is if the field value is equal to the combo box value, whatever value selected. If it is same, then don't capture this, don't make any changes. If it is not same, then capture these changes. That's the only thing. It's just a little change here, a little check. Okay, so we covered all this, and then we go to the module. So here there is a procedure we defined as get log, and if sheet 1 okay, this is not required actually. Procedure called get log, and then we declare one variable lr as long, and with sheet 1 lr is we capture the last row from in the C column. With range G we capture the field value. Range F will be written as field header. Range E is userform1.caption. This is the userform UF1. D is the username of the local PC, and the C is the time. We capture the time. So it is in the reverse order. So we capture the time at the last. and then we set the list box, we populate the list box, whatever is captured, and then we populate it in the list box. We set the row source here. Another thing is how this get log procedure is triggered is it is triggering from the worksheet event of sheet 1 as worksheet underscore change, the change event on the sheet 1. So the if not intersect, then target range is A3 to A50. So A3 to A50 is the range on which we want to call some event if any change happens between this range. So if anything changes between A3 to A50, this procedure is called. So if we see again, so if I write here again id underscore 002 and I press enter or I click anywhere on the user form, so id 002 is here. This value, whenever I got out of this control, whenever this control loses the focus, the value is synced with the control source address. So the address linked to this particular control is A3, then address linked to this particular control is A4. So this is how control source is helping us in mapping the control value with the range, and then the change event on the range trigger the capture log. So, and whenever this the log get log procedure triggered, and it assigns the value in the list box also, as we put the row source as this. So user log is the actually the table, not the table, the name range I defined. The user log is the name range defined here without the headers. So field value is this and the field header is this. So this is how we can capture the changes made. It's like the update event. Whenever any control is updated, so we can capture what changes have been made and by whom and at what time.